I'd like to have you host this panel. And I said, what's the panel about? This is about people that have made drastic changes in their business almost overnight and pick their brains as to what happened between these two earlobes in their way of thinking and obviously the patterns of behavior and their disciplines and habits to cause them to have a turnaround. You're going to hear these amazing people's stories. But I'll tell you what, it's right up my alley because I get a chance to host, when I host my radio show, I pick the brains of some of the best people. And I got to tell you something, some of these folks here are right up in line with some of those best people that I've interviewed over the last 5 years. And you got to meet these individuals. The first one is Melanie Dyson. 470,000 base points, 65 base recruits this past year, skyrocketed, and she's a force to be reckoned with. Give it up for Melanie! And Kendall, 470,000 base points, 67 recruits, also a guy who is no stranger to the business. He's got a story of turnaround that's going to knock your socks off. Give it up for Kendall! And Barb is from Florida. Barb was in that business for a few years, just cracked 100 grand. She went through some transition changes in behavior and thought pattern. Now she's a ring earner. Give it up for Barb! And that guy all the way in the end, Jackson Huang. One of the most consistent individuals, but you know what, this past year, he's had an amazing turnaround because he's producing people that are making six figures now. And he's a multiple six-figure earners for years, so we're going to find out from him what happened that he turned his business around to start producing six-figure earners. Give it up to Jackson. Wow! Alright, so I purposely crafted 4 questions. Each of them are going to have the same question. And I want you to jot down the golden nugget of what they say. These are thought-provoking, action-stoking questions that are going to really help them and help you understand what needs to change in order for you to take your business to the next level. So here's the first question. They're all going to get the same question, okay? First question is, what are the common flaws that you find people make which hinders their progress? And the backup to that is, what did you learn personally that allowed you to have success and sort of release that mental break yourself?
Well, for me, I would say what I see is just that. People start with, for me, ... And so, you know, I did that. I think all of us maybe have done it to a degree, but when we have new folks come in and they say, for me, I need to get licensed first, and then I can start calling. For me, I need to know product info before I can teach anybody, be the expert. For me, and it's about them. And we're in business for ourselves, folks, but not by ourselves, and we don't make money if it's all about us. We're in business to serve others. It's about them. Can we agree on that? Yeah. And so if we start with, for me, as if we know it all, that's the problem. So be brave enough to not be the expert yet, to maybe not be good at something yet, and then you can get good. I would say the other thing that I see a lot here is people don't build. They don't build relationships. They don't build their skills. They don't build other people. And so read the books, practice, record yourself. Do you know how you sound? Do you know how you look? Have you practiced that? When you're gonna make a phone call, record that and play it back like you're watching tape for the next game. And then go, if I win, get better.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Woo.
Excellent.
Yeah, for me, what I found is
Be coachable.
Nice question.
Pass.
So things that happen to a lot of us, when you look at why we come into business, something that fell for me was right? If you look at the cash flow quadrant, there's several places we can be producers here, and that's where I fell in. And something that changed my business was now changing, what do I need to do to become a business owner, right? And that's what our system is about. Now we are good at producing, we're good at building, and I came to the convention last year, and there was a lot shared today that was shared last year. And I took notes on things, and that's when I started to change. I realized that I was in control of where my day shop was and what I was doing. And so I had to let go of the control. A lot of times, and that's what keeps people in the self-employed quadrant, right? And so that was what had to change. We needed to grow by licenses. If I wanted a business, we needed outlets, and we needed to train some people so we could really meet our mission. Our mission is no family left behind. How can I do that by myself? I can't. And so we hired a licensing coordinator, started operating there, and we were getting people through that, but people still weren't passing. And so we had to figure things out. And so what did we have to change? I had to go back to my notes and found out, there's constant personal communication. And so it's constant communication, building those relationships with people. And that improved. And then I had to realize, we're not selling a dream. We're just talking about getting past licensing. Well, then people weren't passing because they forgot why they were doing it. Licensing is no fun. Fall asleep. I mean, if you want to go get a good night's rest, you read those materials, right? That's what happens. And then all of a sudden people disappear. You're wondering why. And so those are the few changes, and then handing it all off to people and teaching them how to do the same. And so now duplication starts to happen. And it's a lot more fun seeing people win, like Brandon said, to see people start to make some money and start to win and succeed versus you just getting paychecks.
When I think about if I were to do it over again, I was one of those people that came into this business. I was a client. I was really excited about what TFA offered, and I actually came in on that side and got all my licenses and was very excited about the details and the products. And I spent a lot of time waiting, learning it all, and that was a big delay. So I would say that was a big mistake. I know we've got great product providers. We've learned a whole lot this week. Just know the new people don't need to know it all. And that stopped me really from talking to a lot of people. The other thing is, I would say, and I noticed this today with a lot of my new people, you know who you are, there's a lot of assumptions about the people that we need to talk to. You know, assuming they know how money works, assuming, they have a good job, they must be fine. I'm sure they have an advisor, they're good. And just, talk to everyone. You don't know where they are, so.
Very good. Jackson.
First of all, I wanted to thank all the staff in the back. You have no idea how much work to put this together. We just so yeah, So I remember when I first started, James Schwartz, my CEO of UBC, or my mentor, when he first started doing his first event, it was behind my restaurant. I still remember that. And I came from a restaurant background. So having a business mindset is pretty easy for me because I grew up in a restaurant business, so I have that restaurant background. So if you found a person in your team is in the business background, no matter what, they pretty much have that mindset. So I think that the biggest challenge for me, or for probably most of you guys, is that when you recruit a new person on board, their mindset has to start to shift, has to change. You gotta remember, right, they came from an employee problem, so they've been told what to do, and they don't really know the operation of the business. So for me, I realized I can't use the restaurant concept, try to get my new recruit, just tell them what to do and be the employee quadrant. So I started figuring out, I said, what do I do in 2024 to build an SMD? Because this business is about MD factory, SMD. So I learned that by Brendan Lakey, right, Josh, all these people have only been in 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and they're beating me in recruiting or building a big business. Why is that? So I started trying to understand the philosophy I have. And I could tell you this, probably your new teammate is gonna have to go through this. So I believe in my heart is the mindset, you gotta start shifting that for them. Once they start changing the mindset, and then they will figure it out. But one thing you must do is not to quit. because I see too many people who quit too early in this business. And I always tell people, you can slow down like me. I have my up and downs. I moved like 3 times. I'm from a town called Temple, Texas, and I moved to Frisco, I moved back to Milton, and I moved to Houston. Isn't that crazy? So I was all over the place. But one day, I'm planting a flag in Katy, Texas, because 2 years ago, I decided not just to open an office, but actually I purchased a 4,000 square feet office building. So, mindset, right? When you stick your mindset, you're gonna do well in this business.
So let me, before I get to the next question, there were 4 different, just knowledge bombs dropped. The question was flaws. These 4 individuals gave 4 flaws. Who can name one of them? Let's see if you're taking notes. What's one of the flaws? Video yourself, see your presentation. What's another one?
Quitting.
Don't quit. What's another one? Don't be selfish, right?
Don't know everything.
You don't have to know it all. Hey, you got to change your mindset from being an agent to an owner. It's a big deal. And on and on and on. Last question. Builder, right? Right, changing from being an individual producer to a builder. So the last question is this. You don't go from where you were before to where you are now unless some significant actions take place. One of them is decision, but the decision has to be backed up by action. So here's what I want to find out from you guys. What specific actions did you take that you implemented in your business once you decided things have got to change? Let's start with Jackson. Hey, be mindful, we got 7 minutes.
So James Words always know this. Block the time, right? Faith, family, fitness, finance. I always have these things backwards, upside down, whatever you want to call it. So I started to rearrange. Monday, my day is admin day. Me and my assistant, or whoever, I need to train that person, we do Zoom. Tuesday, office meeting. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the field. Saturday, free day, or maybe visit a client. Sunday, my family day, church day. So I just need to block it out, and once I've done that, it makes my life easier.
What did he do? I want to make sure make this a teachable moment. What did he do to his schedule?
Not specific.
Structure. Write that down. You cannot have random days of activity. You need structure. Our brains don't work without some form of structure. He's a structured guy, but for the business, he added a little bit more structure. I can't tell you how many times I speak to individuals and I ask them, tell me how your day is. And there's no structure to your day. So structure, one activity that changes business. Go.
I would say tracking. I took a 90-day tracking of what I was doing because my goal was to get my ring. I rallied a number of my teammates trying to reach that goal. Every day I knew what my numbers were and what I needed to do, and I still do that. Ran my sheet, always looking at those numbers, and that made a huge difference. I was always busy. I was always helping people, but I got very intentional in tracking it.
That's the key word. What was the key words he just used? Intentional. Structure and being intentional. Now, let me ask you, wherever you are in the business, whether you're aiming for cash flow goals or a promotion goal, do you know exactly what you need to do to get there? Because if you don't know exactly what you need to do to get there, what are the chances that you'll get there? Slim to none, and none just left town, right? So you need to know exactly what you need to do in order to get your next promotion or your next cash flow goal. Be intentional. Excellent. Go ahead.
Something that I changed outside of what I already said was I started incorporating spouses or partners into communication. Sunday nights, I spend time with my family, but then I start calling our leaders, start talking with them, but also their spouse. I want to make sure that that relationship is developed and how much more can happen when power couples come together. And it's changed a lot of the environment too, to where it's more of a family business versus them just saying it's your business. And that's helped a lot. What did he do? Got spouses involved. Big time.
time, family involved, spouses involved, whoever is the other person that is the most vital, most important person in your agent's or your recruit's life, that person needs to get involved. You need to build a relationship with them. May not necessarily be their spouses, but it could be their kids, right? It could be another adult child. I've dropped that ball many times. Excellent.
Well, I see my girl Kara out here in the audience. Kara, can I borrow your cowbell real quick? Can you just run that up to me real fast? Who has a cowbell? Ask and you shall receive. Who are you asking? Thanks, Kara. We don't open our mouths, you guys. We're not asking for what we need. Simplify it, okay? So if you're making a phone call, if you're making a contact, I want you to say, hey, I'm expanding my reach right now in my community. I need some good help. And then know what you're looking for. Know those skills you're looking for in people and ask for it. If you are looking to expand your reach with clientele, hey, I'm looking to build my clientele right now. I need to serve teachers. I need to serve first responders. I need to serve military members. Ask and you shall receive. If you find someone to teach and help, I'm looking to, if I'm training Kendall here, I'm going to say, hey, I'm working with Kendall and he needs to expand his reach in the community. He's looking to build his clientele. We need 20 minutes with you where he can come sit down and you might be able to point him in the direction of some people he can help. Open your mouth and get your damn securities licenses. Because we are full service and how big are you? Is your business? Those are keys.
Excellent. Give it up. I'm cutting down two of my questions to give you guys a chance to ask two questions. We've got 2 minutes left, so it's working out okay. So ask a thoughtful question that I think could be beneficial to everyone here. So if anyone wants to ask a question of our amazing panel, we'll give you a few seconds to conjure it up. But go ahead and ask a very thoughtful question. If anyone has one, raise your hand. Go ahead.
What sets you apart from others?
There you go. What sets you apart from others? Great question.
We're willing to be, scared enough to do it. I think scared, but willing to do it anyway. Maybe that's what it is. Our desire is bigger than our fear.
Desires are bigger than fear. Good deal. Great, Kendall.
Yeah, it's really the determination not to quit, just keep moving. Over time, something's gonna happen, and we're just gonna keep learning and growing. I see people quit because they don't see results fast enough. I'm not quitting, I've just made that decision. I'm gonna keep going.
I guess I would say resilience and not quitting. Working on myself in this business, not just learning this business. I do spend a lot of time reading self-help and a lot of development books. So I don't hear a lot of people do that all the time. This business does focus on that, and I know we're in the right place. So
Resilience. That's a big deal. Resilience.
I'm not a quitter. I'm a terminator. So, again, I came from a restaurant background. You know how much it costs to build a restaurant? $1.5 million. It's crazy. Last night I took our team to Yama for dinner. And I sent a message to the owner. She's our client. She has 4 restaurants. She opened a 5th one. She said, hey, you coming to my new restaurant? I said, yeah, sure. I'll find out if I could. So she said, send me a message. You need to come. I spent $1.5 million. Think about that. What are you spending here? What are you investing here? $300? $350? So that's the mindset you gotta have, right? You can't quit. If you can think that way, then you understand the business side.
Guys, we're going to wrap up here in 5 seconds. Here's the good news. Here's the good news. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there, probably within miles of where you are, where you can find 4 of these amazing individuals. And 12 months from now, they could be on this stage on the panel talking about the 12 months they've had, but they don't even know that we exist because you've not spoken to them yet. There are thousands of individuals like these out there. Let's go find them. Thank you.